Gosh, AI intimidates me. So let's look at YouTube's AI feature together so it's less scary. I'm talking about the inspiration tab. Let's do this. So what we do is we'd click content and then you'd click on your inspiration tab right here. By the way, have you used your inspiration tab? Comment below and let us know. And then it says explore and brainstorm video ideas. And these are some of the ideas. To be honest, I don't think the thumbnails look great at all. What are your thoughts? Do you like these thumbnails? And if I don't see something that I want to actually create, then I can brainstorm my own video title. So for example, if I say starting a YouTube channel for beginners, 9 things you should know. And these are some of the ideas that it came up with. The biggest mistakes YouTubers make and how to avoid them. 9 things beginners must know to start a YouTube channel. Okay, so you can see what it comes up with. So if I click onto it, what happens then? Okay, impressive. So it actually gives you an outline and you can click on show more here. And it actually tells you about how to even interact with your community. It says ask questions, respond to comments, host live streams. So within the video, this is what it's telling you to actually chat about. And look, you can actually delete certain sections or you can copy certain sections. And you can tell YouTube, is this helpful? Is there something wrong, etc. So if you like it, you can then save it and you can even copy the outline. So let's go back and see what else this does. Now, if you don't like the thumbnails, but you like the scripts or the video titles, then you can create your own thumbnails in Canva. So if you like an idea, you can save your idea. Now let's refresh and see what happens. So this one is the truth about the YouTube algorithm in 2025. It's interesting. And let's go to it and see what happens. And here it actually says need more inspiration. So if I click on this, because AI, and then you update it, and what happens? Okay, so you can see it now has a script where AI is now part of this whole conversation here. And it provides titles. That's a good one. AI is taking over YouTube. What creators need to know now. Thumbnails. Yeah. I think that over time, their thumbnails will definitely improve. But if we click on show more, you see the thing is about these thumbnails, when I look at them, it doesn't tell me that this video is about YouTube. So sometimes people only look at the thumbnails. They don't read the title of the video. So they wouldn't know that this is related to YouTube. So, definitely play around with this feature, the inspiration tab, because it's just good to know what YouTube offers. It's good to understand it and to see if it can be helpful for you. Because if you feel completely stuck and you don't know what video title to create, YouTube is actually providing that information to you so that you don't feel like you don't know your next steps. You know that, okay, I can try this and let's see what happens with it. I like this, how to find your unique voice on YouTube. So let's click on show more. So if you like the content within the script, right, then you can copy the outline and then you can go and paste it into a Google document and you can have your script there. So the inspiration tab seems to be, really easy to use, user-friendly. And if I refresh again, and just because you get a script from them doesn't mean to say you can't add it, because you can also add your own information, the stuff that you'd also like to talk about in your script. It doesn't have to be like you have to stick to their script word for word. Okay, so what are hidden YouTube features? Okay, interesting. It says couldn't create outline. Okay, why not? And now it does. All right. Again, couldn't create outline. Has that ever happened to you under the inspiration tab? Let me know. Or am I only being targeted here? Okay, but let's go here. So helpful, something wrong. Okay. I'm going to click on helpful. so that YouTube knows that, yes, my channel is all about YouTube. And when I go to my saved ideas, this one does appear there now because I saved it before. And it says here, when you're creating ideas, it actually says AI generated content varies in quality, may be inaccurate or inappropriate. Use discretion before you create or use anything provided, not professional advice. Interesting. I guess that's just a disclaimer. So, you know what? Test your inspiration tab. See if it's something that you'd like to use. See if it's helpful in any way, and see if it's actually aligned to what your niche is also about. See if YouTube's got it right for you. So you should focus on these 6 things as a small YouTuber so that you can also grow your channel. The first one is audience. Do you know your audience? Do you know their demographics? Do you know which countries they live in, etc.? You can find out all of this via your analytics tab. And knowing your audience is helpful for you when you are creating your content. The second thing is topic. Now, sometimes you may think, oh, I want to create this video on this particular topic, but is there a decent total addressable market, TAM, meaning that are there enough potential viewers that can actually watch that video? Because you don't want to put all that effort into a video and realize that actually not many people are really interested in this topic. The third thing is title. Look at other titles in your niche, and if their titles are doing really well, you can create a video about the same topic and use a very similar title. The fourth thing is thumbnail. Make sure that your thumbnail attracts your audience's attention. Don't put too much text, because when you are looking at a mobile phone, it's hard to understand the text if there are too many words because it's too tiny. Number 5 is hook. Okay, you want to grab your audience's attention in the first 10 seconds so that they actually watch your video, because the thing is, if your hook is boring, people are going to switch off and not watch the rest of your video. Number 6 is delivery. How are you actually communicating in your video? And this does take time. Make sure to include storytelling in your video, because YouTube is about human to human interaction, even though I just showed you something which is AI. But we want to be able to communicate, relate to each other, etc. So have the human aspect in your videos as well. I was born in South Africa. I am South African, and I grew up in apartheid South Africa. And during apartheid, people of color were oppressed. We weren't allowed to live in certain areas. We could only attend certain schools, etc. It was a very difficult time in South Africa. And media was also suppressed, because people who were fighting for freedom and liberation and fighting against apartheid, their messages weren't really promoted in the media because the South African government wanted apartheid to continue. And that's why I believe that freedom of media is so important. And YouTube is media, it's social media. And it enables us to share our messages. And I think that is so powerful, because knowledge is powerful. And I feel fortunate to live in a time when we can communicate with each other so easily, and when we can share our ideas. So if you started a YouTube channel and you feel like your growth is so slow, I get it. I started this channel at the end of September last year, and only the other day I actually reached 100 subscribers on this channel. I also have another monetized channel, but I'm focusing heavily on this channel because I love learning about YouTube and I love sharing that information. But I also know that sometimes it can feel really scary to be on camera. It can feel intimidating to show our face on camera because we don't want to feel judged. And sometimes we may not, and sometimes we may think we don't look like our best selves, or we don't even like the way that we look. And I created a video about that, so go ahead and watch it. And have a fantastic day.